Hey, I'm going to continue reading from my book again, the 1900s. The Whopper Flying Machine. By September 1903, they were back at Kill Devil Hills, slowly assembling the flyer. They had come a long way since 1900, but the big biplane still looked pretty much like a box kite. A spider web of struts and wires held the 40-foot wings in place. The pilot lay on a cradle amidship, working with his hips the wires that warped the wings. In front was a horizontal elevator. In the rear, a vertical tail with the new movable rudder. The engine nestled ominously alongside the pilot. It drove the two push-up propellers by means of a clanking chain drive that reminded people of the builder's background in the bicycle business. The whole affair weighed in a price of 605 pounds without pilot. No wonder the Wrights proudly nicknamed it the Whopper Flying Machine. As they quietly worked away, Simon Newcomb delivered another blast at the whole idea of mechanical flight. Writing in the October 22nd issue of The Independent, the professor was especially concerned with the aeronaut's problem of landing safely. How shall I reach the ground without destroying his delicate machinery? I do not think the most imaginative inventor has yet even put on paper a demonstrative successful way of meeting this difficulty. The following morning, the Wrights were putting the finishing touches on their landing skids. Still, they were far from being ready. All through October and November, they made endless adjustments. They mounted the engine, they trussed the wires, they tested a method of starting. They measured the air pressure on the front elevator. And one day they learned that another man had just failed to fly. Professor Samuel P. Langley, secretary of the Smithsonian Institute, tried to launch his plane from a barge in the Potomac, but it flopped into the river before the eyes of a derisive press. The news did not discourage the Wrights. They studied all the data they could get on Langley's attempt. The Wrights had their own troubles too. They broke a propeller shaft, sent to Dayton for another, broke that, had to dig up still another. This time, Orville himself rushed to Dayton, picked up some strong steel rods, was back in Kitty Hawk by December 11th. December 14th, and at last they were ready. First, a few minor repairs in the morning. Then filed check on the launching device. This was a 60-foot monorail made by laying four 15-foot planks end to end. The flying machine sat on a dolly which rolled down the track. After picking up enough speed, the pilot theoretically tilted the wings and took off. Crude, but Langley had spent $50,000 for starting equipment, while this cost only $4. Damn. The Wrights device had the added virtue of being portable. On a windy day, they could lay the track on the level beach and take off from there. On a calm day like this one, they could take it to Big Hill or one of the other nearby dunes and lay on the slope for extra speed. An unsuccessful attempt to fly. Of course, all this required manpower, and assistance came from an unexpected source. The man at the Kill Devil Life safety station about a mile away liked to watch the Wrights in their spare time and volunteered to pitch in whenever called. The signal came out 1:30 p.m., fluttering from the side of the Wrights shed. As promised, the men drifted over. Through the bright afternoon sunlight, the procession marched toward Big Hill about a quarter mile away. To move the flyer more easily, they put it on the track. As they pushed it along, they would pick up the last rail section and relay it ahead over and over again. Now they were on the hill, pondering the inevitable question: who should have what Wilbur called first whack? The Wrights solved the problem in characteristic fashion. They tossed for it. Wilbur won and lay down at the controls the way a child goes sledding. A moment later, the motor roared into action. Down the track, the flyer rolled. Orville dashed alongside, trying to balance a wingtip. Wilbur pulled at the wires and in his excitement pulled too hard. the plane shot up at a 20-degree angle, stalled, and fell back to the ground. Oops. Whoops. Anybody else would have been discouraged, but not the Wrights. They knew exactly what went wrong. More important, they knew went right. Ugh. The motor, the controls, the launching device all worked perfectly. Next time, the machine was bound to fly. That evening, Robert wrote his father and sister Catherine. There is now no question of final success. Next morning, he followed up with a wire. Success assured. Keep quiet. Why so secret? The answer seems to lie in the complex personalities of the Wrights themselves. In a way, they were visionaries, but they also had a sharp eye for pattern rates. They wanted recognition, but they also had a small-town suspicion of big-city newsmen. They were confident in success, but they dreaded the taunts of if anything went wrong. The 50 and 60 were spent quietly, making further adjustments. By the second night, all was ready for another try. Please comment, rate, and subscribe down below. And ring that bell notification because I don't know when I'm going to be able to upload next time. I think Saturday, hopefully. And Sunday. Well, not this Saturday. I'm busy this Saturday. But definitely Sunday. Most likely able to post on Sunday. But when again after that, I have no fucking clue. So ring that bell notification so you get notified when I post. And if you're on TikTok, please like it, follow me on TikTok. And now I have a Patreon. And if you want to know my username for my Patreon, comment down below. And don't forget to buy some stuff on my eBay and Mercari, okay? Bye!